With 4 runs in the first inning, Mexico took Game 4 and the championship. The bad streak is over. In Game 4 of the Kings series, the Diablos Rojos of Mexico defeated the Sultanas of Monterrey 4-2, resulting in a perfect series and winning their 17th title, after a decade since their last championship. The Devils got off to a flying start, because in the first inning, New Jersey-born Jose Marmolejos hit a 3-run home run for the Pingos. As if that were not enough, Diablos Arias also reached the register, giving the visitors a 4-0 advantage. After the sad start for the Grey Ghosts, Roberto Kelly took matters into his own hands, and just in the first inning he brought out his starting pitcher, Julio Teheran. Despite multiple pitching changes on the home team, things didn't change for them. The degree of ineffectiveness on the part of the Sultanas was such that halfway through the game they went 28 innings without scoring a single run, the total of 3 games in the series. In the 9th inning, Sultanas reacted and got their first runs, arriving with chances of tying it until the last moment. However, it was not enough. The game was decided from the first inning, leaving a final result of 4-2 in favor of the Diablos. The Scarlet Ninth broke the 10-year drought without a title in the Mexican Baseball League, which they achieved with a brilliant sweep of 4-0 over Sultanas de Monterrey. Last night the score was 4-2 at the Alfredo Harp Stadium. Jose Marmolejos was named the best of the match. Thus, the Pingos reach 17 crowns in their history. When a decade has passed without feeling the euphoria of a championship, there is something like a suppressed impatience. Not out of control, because that meant the risk of making expensive mistakes, which is why the Diablos Rojos del Mexico tried to maintain the serenity of someone who has firmly established what they want, to win their 17th title in the Mexican Baseball League. The desire that took 10 years to achieve, but they conquered it. Although, what a 9th inning, full of scarlet anguish and in which it seemed that the sweep of Monterrey was slipping out of their hands. Yesterday they beat Sultanas at the Mobile Superstadium with a score of 4-2, but with the forcefulness of 4 consecutive victories that left no doubt that the Rojos came with the inspiration of being monarchs of the South Zone, supported by a team that does years they did not put together, and with the pitching gem of Brooks Hall with only 2 hits in 7 innings. First entry, and those Pingos didn't want to wait for the engines to combust. The home run by Jose Marmolejos, named the most valuable player of the night, drove in the 3 starting runs with Franklin Barreto and Robinson Cano. They were with the hotwood when the signs also sent powerful messages. There is something that tricks reason and whispers in the ear of superstition, that hidden logic that moves the hearts of fans. If not, you have to see when Julian Ornelas produced the run that Juan Carlos Gamboa scored. Yes, the same Harper who on September 11, 2014 dressed as a hero by giving the Reds what was their last championship for a decade. On the Sultans' mound, Julio Teheran had the face of horror of someone who sees their nightmares materialized. The visit to the mound made it evident what everyone assumed, that he had to get down from there, because he had lost control. Gerald Lakin took charge of the pitching and combined with the relievers to do his job with discipline. They call Sultans the Great Ghosts, but in this Kings series they were just plain ghosts because they didn't even appear, and it took them 29 innings to score. Everything changed in the 9th inning, when they added drama and the possibility of a flip. The closer of the capital, the Japanese Tomohiro Anraku, had that last role complicated. They scored 2 runs, he got on base at first and third base, and his reliable second baseman Robinson Cano made the error that set everything on fire. When it seemed that the somersault was within reach of the locals with a score of 4-2 and 2 outs, Cano himself took charge of consummating the victory. The Diablos' 17th championship finally arrived after a long decade of waiting.